Majina yangu ni Kihiko Kibue, shujaa wa Mau Mau katika Nyandarua. Na siku ya leo tuko hapa Sasimwa Dam kupata miti 2,000. Tukipata hiyo miti 20,000 ni kumaanisha kwamba msitu yetu itarudi kama kawaida. Na kupata miti ni kipawa kubwa kwa Mungu, sababu kila watu wakiwa wana miti, wana kuni, wana bijego, na miti inasaidia kwa njia nyingi. Leo tukipata leo, kesho tutapanda miti 110 wakati Kimathi alikuwa amesaliwa kutoka kesho. Tunahimiza wananchi kila pahali alipo ajaribu kupata miti, sababu miti ni uhai. Ukiwa huna miti huwezi kupika chakula, ukiwa huna miti huwezi kujenga nyumba, ukiwa huna miti hata huwezi kufanya kitu. Miti ni uhai, kila mtu katika Kenya akumbuke kupata miti ni faida yake.
I'm Dedan Kimathi, the Chief Conservator of Forests, Kenya Forest Service, and today I'm here to represent the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Environment and Forestry, Honorable Kiraiko Tobiko, who happens to be out of the country with the current COP26, which is happening in Glasgow. And we are happy as a Ministry of Environment and also the Kenya Forest Service for this invitation by Dedan Kimathi Foundation, and also with partnership with Nairobi Water, especially today because we are being hosted in the dam, Sasimwa Dam, which is actually also in the jurisdiction of Nairobi Water. And as a Kenya Forest Service, it's a privilege to see today partnerships can work. And one of the things that we are happy of is the commitment that the foundation has given. I'm aware they have committed to plant 30 million tree seedlings within a period of 2 years. And within this month alone, they have committed to plant 3 million tree seedlings. And so far, they have planted about 600,000 tree seedlings. In leading to this event in the last couple of weeks, they have been able to mobilize, and even today as we are speaking here, we are still planting about 25,000 tree seedlings. And this is towards the celebration of one of our freedom fighters, one of our hero, Dedan Kimathi, in marking 101 years. And we are privileged as a government and as a ministry and Kenya Forest Service because many times they would have chosen to celebrate this 101 years in a different way. But in their own recollection and their own collective decision, they did decide that they want to plant and mark this wonderful milestone and day by planting trees. And therefore, having come here today to be part of this is a privilege and honor as a country. And also, it rekindles our consciousness as a nation, as a country, as a people, that whatever we do, we must do it selflessly. Dedan Kimathi was a freedom fighter. He paid by his dear life to set us free. Therefore, it's a huge, huge sacrifice. And to see that we have today many partners, and including, and more importantly, the youth. We have seen also the secondary school students and also people from various schools. It is a question of us passing this wonderful message to the future generation who will come and protect this environment. Dedan Kimathi himself paid an ultimate price, and he did it not so because of his own personal gains, neither for the family gain, but he did it for the country. We are also being challenged today. As we do whatever we must do, we must not do it for ourselves. We must do it for the future generations. As someone said, I am very sure the trees that we have planted here, some of us may never enjoy their shade, but we know our children will come and enjoy that shade. They will come and enjoy the fruit. And therefore, I see a very big connection between what we are doing today, the tradition and the culture, and also in principle, during the Mau Mau movement, the safe haven for these fighters was in the forest. The caves were in the forest. And therefore, if we have to celebrate and mark this day, it is good to go back to where we started from and reconnect ourselves with our tradition, so that also, as we continue to conserve environment, it may not necessarily be that we are protecting that tree because the law says so, but actually our individual conscience must tell us that we must grow a tree, we must protect it, not for our own good only, but for the good of this country. I have traveled this country in a couple of months, and I can tell you, when I'm here today and it's even raining and the weather is like this, the people of this area must be able to be thankful that they are able to have water, have rain. In some of the part of this country, we don't have the luxury of water. And therefore, as Kenya Forest Service, when we pursue our goal to protect our forest, to be able to prevent illegality from happening, to ensure that we plant trees that grows, it is not the benefit of the Kenya Forest Service or the government, but the benefit of the people. In any case, the forests are owned by the people. We are just the stewards. And to see a movement of the foundation, the government entities, private sector, banking industry, the students, all of us gathering together, and including, more importantly, the remnants of the Mau Mau today, and to see them, it is wonderful. So we are bringing the generations, across generation, together and come back to where we should be able to start off. And therefore, as a KFS, we continue not only in this place, we have continued to do a lot of things in the last couple of 3 years. We have been able to reclaim some areas in our forests that were in wrong hands. Talk about Masai Mau, we were able to reclaim about 14,400 hectares. We went to Kirisia Forest, that is in Samburu. We were able to reclaim another 30,000 hectares. We were in Cheptais, that is Mount Elgon. We have reclaimed another 7,000 hectares. So far, about 55,000 hectares of forest are now back in safe hands. And these were lands that were actually being taken by individuals who want to benefit themselves. But we are saying that cannot happen. We must protect the heritage of this country, not for ourselves, but for the future. It's a war that we must win, because even those who are ahead of us, they wore courage and commitment, and they have a conviction that is a war they must win. We also today, I'm telling everyone, we must have the courage to fight for our environment, because without environment, there is no water. Without environment, there is no clean air. Without proper forest catchment area, even the water that Nairobi Water is pumping to our own pipes, it will not be there. And therefore, the critical role that forestry plays in terms of conserving our catchment areas cannot be gainsaid. It is something that we do, and as KFS and the ministry, we are doing what is a divine call. God wants us to be in harmony with nature. That's exactly what we are doing, and it's a message we are sending to everyone. That is Dedan Kimathi, and now that we have started now working together, I think they have made a promise of planting about 30 million trees in the next 3 years, or 2 years actually.
2 years, yeah.
As a Kenya Forest Service, I do commit that we are going to support you with 1,000,001.
Thank you.
Tree seedlings across all the counties you're working in.
Thank
so
you.
I'll also challenge all my ecosystem conservators, wherever they are. They should be able to support this movement. And I want to ask that also you create time. You come and have a meeting and deliberate on a framework on how we'll work together with Dedan Kimathi to ensure that not only the 1,000,001 that we're going to give you, but to support you technically to the other trees that you are planting across the country, because Kenya Forest Service is present across the country. And we must use our presence in the country to support this movement, because any tree planted by whoever person it is, I report that as my success. And therefore, even the 30 million we're going to plant, I will report it to the national government as a success or as a delivery by us as a ministry and the Kenya Forest Service. And that's a commitment I want to give. And we will have a meeting, because we don't want to do things in other way, to have a complete framework of collaboration between Kenya Forest Service and the foundation. And we support you to achieve, and also to help to monitor as we go, so that we can be able to report whether we have reached there or not. If we have reached there, we'll thank. And if we have not, we just have to come together again and work together towards that end. Thank you so much.
CEO Dedan Kimathi Foundation, na pia msichana wa shujaa wa uhuru Dedan Kimathi. Siku ya leo tumefurahi sana kufika hapa, kwa sababu tunasherehekea miaka 101 tangu shujaa wetu Dedan Kimathi alipozaliwa. Tumekuwa tukisherehekea kunyongwa kwake. Kwa mara ya kwanza tukasema wacha tusherekee siku yake ya kuzaliwa kwa kupanda miti 100, na pia tuheshimu hiyo struggle ya Mau Mau kwa kupanda miti 25,000. Na kama mnavyoona tuko na mashimo na miti 1,000 ambao tumepanda leo. Na ningeshukuru sana wadhamini wetu na wale wamekuja, na sana kwanza haswa ni shukuru jemedari wa misitu ambaye anaitwa Julius Kamau, ambaye ni CCF wa miti, kwa sababu hii kazi ya kupandisha miti Kenya mzima anaifanya kama shujaa wa Mau Mau, na ningeomba tumpigieni makofi. tumemwona kwa mitandao, kwa TV, na tungemwombea Mungu kabla president wetu Uhuru kama hajatoka kama yule atakuja, naomba huyu kijana tafadhali aongezwe kitu kidogo na sisi sote tutafurahia.